This is the Jamboard practice assignment for 2-6 on solving absolute value inequalities. Remember, the steps to solve absolute value inequalities is we first want to determine if it's an and or an or, set up the two parts of the compound inequality, keep the original inequality symbol, keep the sign of that number, switch the inequality symbol, and switch the sign of the number. Then solve and graph. So we first want to determine and or. Anything less than or equal to or less than are going to be an and inequality. Greater than or equal to or greater than will be an or inequality. From there, we switch the inequality symbol and make the value of the sign of that value negative. For example, number 1, x is less than or equal to 6. Less than, that is going to be an and compound inequality. So we set up the side we know, just without the absolute value. Flip the inequality symbol, make that value negative. Close at both 6 and negative 6. We know it's an and. We knew it was an and going into it, so we know we shade in between. For number 2, it's also less than, so it's going to be an and. Right? Less than or equal to, we're getting from that inequality symbol there. So we want to set up the right side that we know, just without the absolute value. Flip the inequality symbol, make that left value negative. Your inequality symbol should always be facing the same direction, and we did flip it, so it's nice that they face the same direction. Now we want to solve for x. To do so, we want to isolate x in the middle. So to do so, we'll subtract 2 and then divide each side by 3. Make sure you subtract 2 from all 3 parts. It's okay to have fractions. It's just part of a number. 5/3 is 1 2/3. Sorry. Close at both ends. 1 2/3 is right about there. -3. I know it's an and, so shade in between. Number 3 is greater than. That is an or compound inequality. Okay, greater than or, less than and. Set up the side we know. Just whatever is given without the absolute value. We know it's going to be an or. So then we're flipping the inequality symbol, making that value negative. Then we want to solve both parts of this compound inequality. We have a positive 14, so we're going to subtract it from both sides first. Divide by -1. We divided both sides of an inequality by a negative number, so we need to make sure we flip that inequality symbol. Those rules still apply. So it was greater than, it's now going to be less than. Now we're going to follow the same steps. We're just going to get a different answer on the inequality on the right. Positive 14, so we're going to subtract it from both sides. It's tempting to drop this negative sign, but it's attached to the x, and we can't isolate x until x is positive 1x. So we still need to divide by -1. And again, the steps are the same. We divided both sides of the inequality by a negative number, so we also have to flip this inequality symbol. It was less than, it's now going to be greater than. So x is greater than positive 20. Okay, again, don't worry about the increments. If you just had 8 and 20 on your number line, that's cool with me. X can be less than 8 or greater than 20. Again, less than or equal to is an and compound inequality. Greater than or equal to turns into an or compound inequality. That's it for the Jamboard practice assignment on solving absolute value inequalities.